welcome to my YouTube channel. This is so exciting. I'm so excited. This is my first proper video and I thought I'd make it because I thought it might be interesting. My name is Jenny and this is my YouTube channel, Jenny Wren, as obviously you can see under here. But yes, I basically thought I'd make a video to tell you about the time I was an extra, because I think it's interesting actually. And a lot of people have asked me about it in real life, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to help the future generation, and you can watch it over and over again. So I was an extra on, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name of the film, but I'm going to say it anyway, on the new Kingsman film, which is exciting. It's called The Golden Circle, and it's, I think it's going to be good. I mean, I can't really tell because I was watching from the sidelines, if you will, but yes, I'm with an extras agency called Universal Extras, which I would highly recommend actually. They are very good. Especially if you're a student. The reason I started in the first place is because I was a student and it is free when you're a student. So I joined that and I'm still in it now. But yes, so when you start off by making a profile basically, and then you know, film companies say they need extras and how many and what sort of people and stuff like that. And then if you're eligible to be in it, they send you a text saying, hi, are you available for this film? It's on this date, you know, kind of vague. And so this one came up and all it said was The Golden Circle, so I googled it naturally and I was like, oh my god, it's the new Kingsman film, and I absolutely loved the first Kingsman film, so I was so excited. And I really wanted to do it, and I did actually have the chance to do it before, but I couldn't do it. I think they already had enough people. So, but then it came up again in a more convenient place, and I was like, well, I've got to do it, haven't I? So, so yes, I said I could do it. I was available, and then they phone you up and check that you are definitely available, and then go through things with you, like what time you got to be there and things like that. And that was all fine. And it's kind of difficult for me because I can't drive. Well, I can, but I haven't passed my test. So, and I don't have a car, so not helpful. But yes, I was like, yeah, that's fine. I can get there. And I just had to work it out basically. I had to go to, oh my god, where did I have to go? Leavesden Studios for the costume fitting. And I had to like go into London then out of London. It was a bit of a faff, but it was fine. I got there actually right on time, and then I just had to catch a minibus and all this. I did all this, and then I did the costume fitting, and that was all fine. For some reason I took like way longer than anyone else because I'm hopeless, absolutely hopeless, and you're supposed to bring your own clothes, and I did, but I knew that my clothes weren't suitable, so I was like, oh, these might not be suitable, and they weren't actually. But it was good in a way because I actually really wanted to wear clothes from wardrobe because they're really nice, and I was just excited. So I'm actually quite glad that I don't know if they used any of my clothes actually. I can't remember. No, I don't know. I don't think they did. So I had like, no. How exciting. So I got all the clothes from wardrobe, and then that was all done, that was all fine, and then they just kept those. And then the day of filming came, and it was in the summer, so it was quite warm. And I had to be there at, I had to be there at 6. So I left my flat at 4, I think, and then had to go there. And when I got there, there was, I walked in and there were people kind of everywhere. It felt a bit like, this is going to sound like a weird thing to say, but it felt a bit like a campsite, to be honest, because, I don't know, it was really early in the morning and everyone was just walking around, you know, with their coats on and their coffee, and so yeah, it was a good atmosphere actually. It felt really, I felt really at home for some reason. I felt like I knew what I was doing, even though I've never you know, been in a film before. So I went round and I found where I had to go. I had to go and register, sign in and whatever. And then they were like, yeah, you can go through round to the where there's breakfast. I was like, yes, breakfast. And there was a buffet, and it had basically every breakfast you could want. It had cooked breakfast, it had cereals, it had fruits and drinks and coffee and tea and blah 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 blah. And yes, so I naturally ate everything. And at first I wasn't that hungry because it was really early in the morning, but I would highly, right, this is first bit of advice, I highly, highly, highly recommend eating as much as you can. Not least because it's really nice and it's free, but also you don't know when you're going to get lunch, so I highly recommend eating as much as you can. I mean, let's not, you don't want to be vomiting everywhere, you know, you don't want to be puking on set, but yeah, I do recommend just eat. Uh, so yes, so ate breakfast, blah 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 blah, and then we went into costume and makeup and got all our stuff, and they made a few adjustments actually to my costume, but that was fine. And then everyone was really nice. Everyone was really nice actually. Yeah, and when I was having my makeup done, this is a really random little bit of trivia. This, I just thought it was weird. I feel like I need to share it. When I was having my makeup done, the woman who was doing my makeup, I can't remember what she was called, but she was doing my eyelashes. She was like putting mascara on, as you do. And she was like, God, you have really long eyelashes. And I was like, I know, yeah, I know. Sometimes they poke me in the eye because they're so long. I'm not even joking. And she was like, you should do, you'd be really good at doing eyelash conditioner commercials. And I was like, what the hell is eyelash conditioner? She actually said that. And she said it so seriously, like, do you know what you'd be really good at? Eyelash conditioner commercials. And I was just like, right, I'll let my career advisor know that I'm going to do eyelash conditioner commercials. How, that is strange, isn't it? But anyway, we did all that, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually it came to going to set. And so we went just on a minibus, and we were filming on this like really big farm, like plot of land. So yeah, we had to go on a minibus. So we got there, and then it was kind of like people were just kind of milling about, and you know, it was kind of like an introductory kind of like, right, let's initially put you here, you here. There were quite a lot of extras. I don't know how many. I'm pretty bad at guessing numbers. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Wow, that was helpful. Maybe 200, maybe a few more. There weren't loads. It wasn't like a crowd scene as such, but there were quite a lot. Enough that like a lot of people didn't have much to do, but that was fine because it was just setting the scene. But yes, so I got put with this guy who we were supposed to be like a couple, and they put us next to this tent, and the kind of backstory of us was that this was our tent, and then they kind of gave us a bit of choreography, or a bit of like blocking, if you will, where we had to like, we were holding hands because we were a couple, and we had to kind of zigzag in and out, weave in and out of these tents when they said action, and then we had to go into a tent basically. And yes, so we did that. But then it got a bit confusing because then as the day went on, for ages I didn't have anything to do, because they were filming, we were behind the camera, if you know what I mean. They were filming towards one way, but we were supposed to be the other way, so we weren't in shot, yeah. So a lot of it was watching, but that was fine. I was obsessed with everything. I was absolutely fascinated by everything, so that was honestly fine. So yes, so we were just like wandering about, blah 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 blah. And the guy who I was with, he's done loads of extra stuff, so he was quite bored by it all, to be honest. I don't know why he did it, probably for the money, and also he had a friend who did it as well at the same time, so it's probably like a job. But to me, I was so excited. I was like literally, I was obsessed with everything. Everything from like how long it takes to set the cameras up every time they want to change the shot, and listening to the director direct, and all the, like, there are so many people working on a film set, it's like ridiculous. And we weren't even on a like in a studio. We were on location. It was ridiculous, and it was such a hot day that literally there were some guys. Basically, there were tents everywhere, and there were some guys who their job was basically to set up all the tents. So they had finished their job by the time we'd got there, if you know what I mean, because when we got there the tents had all been up. So they literally fell asleep in the sun for the rest of the day, and I was like, that is amazing. Because there were just so many people, it was like, it didn't really matter, to be honest. So yeah, I was with this guy, and then so I was just watching, blah, 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 and then I can't remember whether I did anything before lunch. I think I might have, but at some point throughout the day, I think it was before lunch, I got promoted, kind of accidentally, because the guy who I was supposed to be like a couple with, he went to the toilet. He was like, I'm just going to go to the toilet. I was like, okay, fine. And so he just went off to find the toilets, and I was like just standing around watching. And then this guy was like, what are you doing in this bit? And I was like, I don't think I'm in this shot. And for some reason they were really confused by this, even though it wasn't like confusing. I was like, okay. But and then they were like, okay, well, we'll give you something to do then. And I was like, yes, please. Give me something to do. And basically they put me with another guy, so I had another boyfriend. So by the time the guy who was my boyfriend before got back, I was like, bye. I've got a new boyfriend now, a new fictional boyfriend now. And he didn't really care, to be honest. So I was with this new guy, and we got to walk right past the camera. It was really exciting, actually. And I think we filmed this after lunch, but basically I got to walk right past the camera, and I was like, what I've learnt from this is don't ever go to the toilet. in case you know, someone just happens to notice you're not doing anything, and they'll be like, oh, do you want a better part? Okay, we'll give you a better part. I was like, well, I will take that better part. So yes. And also, if possible, I recommend being near the action. There were a lot of people who I don't think were that bothered, to be honest. I think they were just there to have a good time. But a lot of people were, because there were so many extras, were just kind of in the background, because you know, background extras. But I was in it. I was in it to win it. I was in it I was so close to everything. I was really close to the director's tent. I was really close to the cameras and the actors, and Taron Egerton was in that scene, and I was really close to him. He was the only actor that I actually recognised out of them, but yes, so that was exciting, and it was like I was really excited by the fact that the actors were properly intermingled with the extras. I know that it sounds obvious because, you know, you're all in one scene and it's supposed to look seamless, like you're all in an atmosphere, but I really thought there was going to be more, like, I thought the actors would do their bit, and then every time there was a break they'd kind of get together, but like they were very much intermingled, and all the extras were like making friends with each other. I was not, because I would have made friends with other extras, but I was honestly so fascinated by everything, because I would love to be in films, honestly, and part of the reason that I wanted to be an extra was to see if I liked being on a film set, basically. And it turns out I love being on a film set. I was actually obsessed with everything, like everything. And there was this big tent at the back, and I was like, I really want to go in it. And the person who was my first boyfriend, as it were, was like, yeah, it's just a set. I was like, I know, but I want to go in it because this is a bit of a film secret. But you know, hidden everywhere. Well, that's not really a film secret, but it kind of is. There were wires hidden everywhere from the cameras and stuff. So like it looks like I know it sounds really stupid because I you know, I do act and I do perform and I have, you know, so I should know this, but I'm still amazed by the fact that it's not real. That's crazy. It blows my mind. But anyway, it was great. So at lunchtime we eventually, it was so, I can't express to you how hot it was that day. It was definitely at least 30 degrees C. It was probably more, because we were in direct sunlight in the middle of a field as well. And even though there were tents, we weren't in the tents. And if you were to go in the tents, you would like burn, like I'm talking like fiery pit burn. Hi, sorry if my camera is at a slightly different angle. My camera decided to die, so yes, it was hot. It was hot in the tent, so none of us had to go in there. At one point, actually, one of the crew members thought they were going to go in there so they could watch a screen and make sure everything was in shot, but then they were like, no, this would be a terrible idea, quite frankly. So yes, and then we carried on filming, and then at the end of the day, and then the last thing that happened, I'll just go quickly to the end, is that as we started to finish, I started to think, do you know what? I actually don't know how I'm going to get home, because we were filming in this this farm, but it was massive, and it had loads of different entrances. And when I first arrived, I arrived in a taxi, and it was fine because the taxi driver just like got directed where they needed to go. But obviously, at the end of the day, they were expecting people to leave rather than enter, so they didn't have anyone, I don't think, telling people where to go, if you know what I mean. So I was like, oh my god, how am I going to get home? Because I anticipated getting a taxi, but I was like, where am I going to tell them to go? Because I couldn't go to the road because I didn't know where to go, because it was so big, the farm. So anyway, but luckily there was a minibus going to town, and it wasn't meant for me, but the two people who it was meant for didn't turn up, and I got on the bus anyway because they said I could, and it turns out I was the only one. So from there I went into town and then got a bus home, and everything was fine. So I think that is the end of my story. I don't think there's anything else I have to say. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment, and I might read it. No, I will read it. Yeah, if you've got any questions, ask, please, maybe, if you want to, because I feel like there's definitely things I've missed out. And that is annoying, actually, because a lot of things happened that day. But yes, eat loads of breakfast and loads of lunch because it's free and it is tasty and you don't know when you're going to eat next. Make friends or be fascinated by everything on set. Definitely do it if you can, if you are into films, especially if you want to be an actor. It is honestly fascinating and you learn a lot. Well, I did anyway. Be patient, I'd say, is one of them. I'm a really patient person anyway, so it didn't bother me at all. I kept myself occupied by staring at the cameras. But yes, be patient. Also, I recommend doing it if you're flexible, because there is a lot sometimes of like changing the times that you've got to be there or changing the days you've got to film on, and that's just the way it goes, to be honest, I think, because of, you know, there are so many contributing factors of being in films, you know, when the actors can do, when the crew can do, when they can get the set, when they can get the cameras, you know what I mean? There are so many things that kind of extras are, you know, are extras. Called extras for a reason. Or supporting actors, if you want to say that. They made a real big thing of calling us supporting actors when we were there, and I was just like, mate, we're just extras. I really don't care about the word extras. And I think that's it. So thank you for watching. I hope that it was interesting. If it was not, then, well, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry I wasn't good enough. I'm sorry my story wasn't good enough. I'll probably think of something after this, and it will really annoy me that I didn't put it in the video. So, yeah. I'm likely to make more videos on this channel, because I literally have a list of amusing anecdotes that I feel like I need to tell the world because they are funny, I think. I hope. If not, then again, I'm sorry. So feel free to subscribe if you want to. If you don't, then don't. Whatever, it's a free country. And give it a like if you want to also, but if you don't. Just a friendly reminder. But that is it, I think. Is that it? I don't know. I'm just going to say bye. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye! Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Oh my god, this is so exciting. This is my first proper video. I have other videos, but I have a text.